And we're live. Hello, everybody. Time 342 here. Today's a big day. Fortnite has had 40 seasons now. That's insane to say. I've played about 36 of them. So, we're just going to rank every single season. I did this a while ago, but my opinions kind of changed on these seasons, like, a lot since the last time I did that last ranking I did for ranking every season. I can actually check. When did I last do it? Yeah, I had ranked them all 10 months ago. So it's been almost a year. We've had a couple more seasons since then, and I want to rank them because, again, my opinions on a lot of them have changed a lot. And I think there's definitely going to... I'll tell you right now, straight up, there's going to be a lot of opinions you don't agree with. Please just be open to my opinion. If you disagree, that's completely fine. These are just my thoughts. I'm ranking this on a casual player's perspective, who every now and then will play ranked just for like an adrenaline rush. But I really like playing with friends. That's when I have the most fun in Fortnite, when I'm playing with friends. I'm actually going to upscale this just a little bit. I think that's a little bit. Yeah, that's better. All right, here we go. Ranking time. I actually have to add a new tab called Didn't Play. Because there's a couple seasons I straight up never played. Alright. Obviously these haven't changed since then. I still haven't played a couple seasons. It's mainly the originals. We've got Season 1 I never played. Season 2 I never played. Season 3 I never played. And Season 4 I never played. However, I did play the OG versions of these seasons. If I was ranking them based off of their OG counterparts, Season 1 would actually go into A tier. It felt the most Battle Royale-like Fortnite has felt in so long. Season 2, I would put B tier, because it felt more like Season 1, but not as good, in my opinion. Season 3, I would put in A tier again, and Season 4, in my opinion, is the best OG season. But I didn't play the original Chapter 1 seasons of these, so they're going to go and didn't play. However, then we get to my first Fortnite season, Season 5. Now, I don't really know if there's going to be a lot of bias in this ranking. Probably. But Season 5, I'm actually going to put it in B tier. Because, for me, this is the first season I played, but it's not the first season that made me fall in love with the game. I have a crispy chicken sandwich. I'm going to take a bite. Ooh. That's a spicy boy. I went to Wingstop. Damn, it's good. Alrighty. But yeah, Season 5 goes into B tier. I know a lot of people don't look at this fondly. Or I guess people said back in the day this was the worst season because of the spray meta. For me, it really helped me get into the game because it was easy. But I don't agree with the spray meta. I think there should always be a balanced meta in Fortnite, obviously. Or usually, at least. You'll see why I say usually, at least, in a minute. Or a lot of minutes. But Fortnite wrecked. We'll get to that when we get to it, though. But yeah, Season 5 made me really enjoy Fortnite, and I really liked it. Alright. Season 6. I know a lot of people don't like Season 6 as much as Season 5. Personally, I think Season 6 is just a better Season 5, in my opinion. Kind of helped with the spray meta a little bit. The guided missile was still in the game. And it was just like a weirdly, like, what's the best word? Like, it's an eerie time to play Fortnite because there was like the Fortnite mares, the monsters. But it was really fun, too. It was just, I don't know, I liked it a lot. I don't have a lot to say about these older seasons, just because I don't remember them as well as the more recent ones we'll get to. But Season 6, I really did like. I think it had a great loot pool. You had the AK, you had the spaz. I'm going to put Season 6, I don't know if it's A tier. No, it's A tier. If I could choose right now, I would go back to Season 6 over Chapter 7 Season 2. Right now, the season, by the way, we're on right now is Chapter 7 Season 2 at the time I'm streaming this. Alright, Season 7. This is the first like bad opinion people are gonna say I have. But for me, season 7's not a bad season. I like season 7, but not as much as these two. It's gonna go in B tier, but that's because I really didn't like a lot of the crap that happened in season 7. As fun as the planes were, they got boring quick, and I got annoyed with them. The sword, I played a lot of Fortnite when the sword was in the game, and I saw the sword a lot, and because I was absolute dog shit at the game, I was very bad against the sword, and I didn't like that, because I didn't even get the sword once, actually. I got it when OG came back, though, so that's fun. I liked Season 7, but not as much as Season 5 and 6. I felt like they were doing too much with what they had, but obviously, you had the snow biome, the other than, like, the actual season itself, the vibes were amazing. But I'm not going to rate the season off of vibes. I'm going to rate the season off of the content. He had some pretty good guns. People remember the season, I feel like, one of the things people remember the season for, in my opinion, is... Alright, Dango. Yeah, I'm going to slime you on O-Block. That's insane. I feel like people remember this for, like, a couple different reasons this season. The vibes, stuff like that. I feel like one of the things... The biggest thing I think of when I think of this season, weirdly enough, is the infantry rifle. But, like, the bad version with the bullet drop. And then we get to my favorite Chapter 1 season, Season 8. I love Season 8. I always have loved Season 8. I love that they're doing OG Season 8 right now. That's awesome. And it's one of those things where when it was coming back into OG, the mode, OG Fortnite, right? When is the King Von season coming out? That already came out, bro. We'll get to that in a minute, Lawless. But Season 8, it was one of those things where with OG, I was worried about it coming back, and I was worried I only remembered it fondly because of my nostalgia. No. Season 8, the map is beautiful. The loot pool, while a little AR heavy, beautiful. Ballers, fun. The fact that planes are gone, awesome. I love Season 8. I think this is one of the best eras to play Fortnite in. And I heavily encourage you to go play OG Season 8 while it's still out. Because I think we have less than a month right now. OG Season 8 is going to the S tier. And then we get to Season 9. I'm going to say this right now. You're either heavily going to agree with me. What season did they introduce O-Block in? They didn't bring O-Block in, but it was a joke that Fortnite was like O-Block now. It was Lawless. It's this one right here that I'll get to in a minute. Season 9, this is an opinion you're either going to heavily agree with me or disagree with me. Season 9 is a season where when I look back on it, I really miss the futuristic, like, techie vibes that this season had. And I miss the culture around Fortnite. This was World Cup era too. Again, I'm not going to rate these seasons on vibes, but the gameplay, amazing. The first thing I think about Season 9, Burst SMG. One of the most fun guns we've ever had, and it hasn't come back since Season 9. The Thunderburst SMG, that's awesome. I don't care. Give me back my original Burst SMG. Season 9, it's also going into S tier. Not as good as Season 8, but I would rather play Season 9 than Season 6, 5, or 7. I almost said 6, 7. Oh, fuck, I just said it. Yeah, Season 9, really good. Loved Season 9. I don't know. I just have nothing but good things. I have nothing but good memories when I think of Season 9. And then we get to Season X. I actually did like Season X, but I can't deny it's by far the worst Chapter 1 season. Just from, like... Can we enter a Fortnite tournament together? Hell yeah. Eventually. Don't worry, Dango. I got you. When I think about Season X, I think mechs. And that's not good. When you think about a Fortnite season, you should think about... In my opinion, what you should think about is the vibes, but obviously we're not rating seasons off of vibes. And most importantly, the loot pool. Was the loot pool solid? I think the loot pool in general in Season X was definitely solid, but just you never used normal guns really because the mechs were just the best thing. And yeah, they nerfed them later, but it was too late. You had people leaving your game. They didn't like it. Personally, I love the mechs. Personally, I love the mechs. I like them a lot. if this was if I was just like, I'm trying to think about like multiple like POVs here. If I wasn't thinking about that, Season X for me would actually go into B tier. But I'm very tempted to put it into C tier. Just because I kind of didn't play a lot of Fortnite either during Season X. But what I did play, I liked. I remember when I was younger, right? I'm saying younger. This was like, what, 8 years ago maybe? 7 maybe? I don't remember how long. I think 7 years ago. But when I think about the season, I remember I played it when it first came out. Got really upset because of the mechs. Took a big break. Then I saw they added this Borderlands thing to the game. And then I realized, holy shit, this game changed a lot. So I think if the mechs never existed in Season X, it would genuinely be a top 3 Chapter 1 season. Because of how rapidly the map was changing. It stuck to its theme so well of just constant chaos and change. And I can't bring up this season without talking about Gotham City. I'm not an unk, bro. Actually, no, I am old in the new crap. Gotham City was such a fun take on Tilted Towers. And I didn't even mention Tilted Town, which was the first thing of Zero Build. But I had so much fun in Season X. But I can't deny it pissed me off back in the day. I'm very excited for Season 9 X to come back in OG. I'll give it an extra chance, obviously. But, yeah, I think it deserves B tier. If I was really critical of these seasons, I'm not going to be incredibly critical. You're not going to believe what happened. I would put it in C tier, but I'm going to put it in B tier. Because I don't think there was really a single, like, just god-awful Chapter 1 season. But definitely some stinkers. And I have a couple opinions on a couple different seasons. You'll see when we get to that F tier eventually. All right, Chapter 2, Season 1. This is a season I really don't know where I want to put it. Because no updates, basically. Harpoon gun, you had the lightsabers, you had the Star Wars event. Again, I'm not rating these on like events or anything like that. I really loved this season. I loved how it had a very, like, a standard loot pool. It made Fortnite feel like a battle royale again, and the fact that we were on a new map as well was sick. I'm not putting this C tier. Get out of here. I'll put it low B tier. That's where I would put it at. No, I would put it above. You know what? Now that I think about it. Yeah, I would rather play Chapter 2 Season 1 than Season X. I'll say that. I wouldn't put it above Season 7. But I would definitely put it above Season X. Alright, Chapter 2 Season 2. How the hell do I talk about the season without getting, like, told that I suck? I just got told I suck. I hate you, Dango. I'm gonna take a bite of my chicken sandwich. Hold on. Damn, that's good. Damn, it is pretty good. You know what? Looking at this, I'm gonna add another row. Yeah. I'm gonna add another row called Top 3. Like my top 3 seasons of all time, right here. Alright. Chapter 2, Season 2. This is a season that I really didn't like when it first came out. Release the Taco Bell files? Never. This is a season I really didn't like when it first came out. But after that Deadpool update, oh my god. This felt like this is what Fortnite was. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This and Chapter 1 Season 8. Chapter 1 Season 8 is the season that made me realize, wow, this Fortnite shit's crazy. Chapter 2 Season 2 is what made me really fall in love with the game. And was like, okay, I want to constantly keep playing this game. Support the updates, support the game, buy the cosmetics. With that said, it's only gonna go above Season 5. I'm gonna put Chapter 2 Season 2 in B tier. Just because I think they didn't introduce the new AI bosses in the best way possible. I would have rather them introduce like Midas, Sky, throughout the season, like they did in Remix, where they introduced the bosses slowly and not just push them all out to you at once. Because it was a little overwhelming having all these mythics at once. I know we got like crazy shit in the game now, but players are a little bit more accustomed to that now. Back then, this was crazy. And also the AI, they basically had aimbot. It was insane. But yeah, I liked Chapter 2 Season 2 a lot. If I could, I would go back to it right now instead of Chapter 7 Season 2. I'll say that. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm a little iffy. I might put it... Would I play Season 5 over it? No, I wouldn't. Alright. Chapter 2, Season 3. This, for me, just feels like Chapter 2, Season 2, Part 2. Like Season 2.5, Season 3. There's two things I think about when I think of this season. No, three things. Water, Ocean's Burst AR, and Kid's Charge Shotgun. This season made me... Like, just... No. Season 2 and 3 really did make... Both seasons made me really love Fortnite. But Chapter 2 Season 3, I loved so much. I loved this season more than my kids, man. And I don't even have kids. I'm pre-firing here. I want to say this right now. Chapter 2 Season 3 is my favorite Fortnite season. I think this season blended perfectly chaotic fights and just feeling like a normal Battle Royale game. I love Fortnite when it feels like a straightforward Battle Royale with a couple goofy things. This season did that perfectly for me. And also the constant map changes. When I think of Chapter 2 Season 3, I just think of like just peak Fortnite for me. That's like a peak Fortnite season for me. Chapter 2 Season 3 is my favorite season of all time. Personally. Taking another bite of my chicken sandwich. That's good. Alright. And then, we go to another peak Fortnite season. Chapter 2 Season 4, the Marvel season. The first one. My god, this is a good season. I'll tell you right now, this is one of those seasons like Chapter 2 Season 2 where, again, I didn't love it in the beginning. But it slowly grew on me. And I think this was handled much better than Chapter 2 Season 2, where they slowly introduced the bosses. First you had Doctor Doom, another update you had Iron Man, another update you had Wolverine. I think it's great that they weren't all just there at once. Like Sky, Brutus. Was Peely a boss? No. Sky, Brutus, Midas, Tiantina, and that one other guy I forgot. Meowscles. I think it was done better. Absolutely. The fact that they weren't just all there at once. So, I'm going to put this season in S tier. I'm going to put it above Season 9, but not above Season 8. Personally. Again, I loved this season. I would absolutely go back to it. But it's one of those seasons for me where I'd like it to stay a memory. Just remembering how fun it was. I'd want it to stay a memory. However, a season like Chapter 2 Season 3, I want to go back to that like right now. Like, right now. And, iOS players were stuck for 5 years, so good on them, I guess, but... Okay. And, okay, now we got another hot take for me. Chapter 2 Season 5. I really liked Chapter 2 Season 5. I think Chapter 2 Season 5 is a great season. This is one of those Fortnite seasons that mashed together goofiness while being a Battle Royale. Perfectly together. If I could, I would go back to Chapter 2 Season 5 right now. It's not one of those seasons like the Marvel season, Nexus War, where it's like, I want that to stay a memory, because I want that to stay nostalgic for me, because it's like, oh, remember how much you loved that season? No, I want to go back to that for the gunplay. I think this is a very unique season as well, because there was no standard pump shotgun. And that was crazy, because it was a very strange shotgun loot pool, but it worked, weirdly. I will say, there is one huge complaint I have. I like collabs in Fortnite if they add something to the game. That's why I'm a little iffy on the Overwatch update. When I look at it, it's like, yeah, they added the tracer pistols, they added the mercy staff. Why didn't you at least like reskin like a shield item for that one guy in Overwatch? That one guy has a huge hammer, I think. Why didn't you just reskin the shockwave hammer for that? I wish they had a little bit more with Overwatch, but still a really good update. I mean, they also could. We haven't gotten to the second milestone yet, so they could be adding more Overwatch crap. I hope they do. But yeah. Anyways, back to my point. I think this season handled collabs horribly. And that's the problem, because it was very collab-centered this season. Like, Jones, the reason why the 0 point's becoming unstable, you keep using that damn Rift gun. It's going to become unstable. Because he was recruiting, oh my god. He was recruiting a bunch of bounty hunters and crap like that. I wish we got mythics along with that. And I feel like it would have been so easy. Like, when they brought Kratos onto the map, just reskin Thor's Stormbreaker. Bang! You got like his axe. I think it's, I don't know what it's called. I forgot it. It starts with an L, I think. I have it. I'm a very proud Kratos owner. Snake Eyes. Add like a sword item. It could be basic as hell. It's still something. That's like that's something that like that's the reason people will look on the season more fondly. Like, what if during the season for the Terminator collab they add like a Terminator gun or something like that, and then 5 years in time, people are thinking about Chapter 2, Season 5. Oh, the Terminator gun, right? That season, I really like that season. Yeah, I really like that season. Oh, yeah. And out of all of the collabs, I think the one that had the most wasted potential was Halo. Halo has so many items, guns, weapons, anything. You could have just added the most basic laser rifle for Master Chief. And you didn't. And then they brought Halo back in Chapter 6, Season 4. And they still didn't. Why are you doing this? With that said, this is still an A-tier season for me. But my god, I wish the collabs were just a little more. Alright. Jesus Christ. The unpopular opinions just kind of keep coming here. Primal. I'm going to say this right now, and I know I'm going to get shot for this. I liked Primal. I liked Primal. I really liked the fact that it felt like you were constantly upgrading yourself. But I know this is a horrible season for other people. I know people really don't like Primal. And for good reason. The fact that they vaulted snipers for bows, stupid. But oh my god, I think this is the one season that leans so heavily into the theme that I looking at it, looking at the guns, looking at the weapons, I should have hated this season, but I didn't. You know why? Because they lean so damn heavily into the theme of like just upgrading crap. Bows, you make it have like an effect. You can turn your stupid crappy green bow into a shockwave bow, into a primal flame bow, into a stink bow that shoots farts at people. That was so cool to me. And I wish they'd bring back the crafting mechanic, but they just won't. I really liked Primal. I really did. Yeah, the makeshift weapons sucked. The makeshift weapons sucked. But that was the point. And I'm not gonna dog on the season just because the weapons that are supposed to suck, shocker, they suck. That makes them good because they fit their purpose. So, I also kind of liked the makeshift shotgun, as bad as that sounds. Also, the Primal shotgun was really fun to use. I don't know, I just look at Primal. It's not a season I'd want to go back to, but it's a season that I look back on fondly. So I'm gonna put Primal below Season X. But I still, these two are interchangeable for me, kind of. I definitely played more, no, I played more Primal than Season X, so I'll put Primal above Season X, but would I choose Primal over Chapter 2, Season 1? No. No, I would not. Not whatsoever. That'd be nuts. Alright. Chapter 2, Season 7. Invasion. I barely played this season. I barely played this season. And whenever I think of this season, all I think about is the Alien Mothership game. That was cool, But that's not going to carry your season for me, bud. That's not going to carry your season for me. I know a lot of people look back on this season fondly, and this is not me rage baiting. I didn't like this season. I didn't like Chapter 2, Season 7. I think they really nailed the theme here. Absolutely. But I just never really wanted to, like, I never had, like, the urge to just, oh my god, I gotta jump in and just, I gotta play the new Invasion season. I never really had, like, the urge to play this season. I had the urge to play Primal, because when I'm thinking about it, I wanna upgrade my guns mid-match. I think that'd be sick. I wanna play Season 9 because I wanna find the Burst SMG and land Neo Tilted. I wanna play Nexus War because I wanna use the She-Hulk Fist, because those are really cool. I wanna play Chapter 2 Season 3 because I wanna go get Ocean's Bottomless Chug Jug and the Burst at AR and ride a shark. That's so fun. I wanna ride an alien mothership. Like, okay. The ships are cool. But they're kind of like the planes where they're annoying. And I think they were kind of worse than the planes. So I'm going to put Chapter 2 Season 7 in C tier. I had fun, but it's not a season I want to go back to. And when the season was out, I didn't really have the urge to play it. It's one of those seasons in Fortnite where I'm just playing it to play it, you know? I'm not really having fun. Everything in S, A, and B tier, I want to play that season because I'm having fun during that season. Anything in C and D tier, it's like, okay, I have to play this season to get my rewards. That's how I feel. I didn't even get all the rewards for this battle pass because I just didn't play the season a lot. Alright. And then it doesn't really get much better because I played I think I played less than 30 matches in Chapter 2 Season 8. And that's bad. I remember I just straight up bought out the battle pass because I wanted Carnage, and I knew I wasn't going to grind him because I just didn't like Chapter 2 Season 8. Peak live event, but that's not what I'm going to rate it about on. I think the sideways weapons sucked. I think the Fortnite Amirs event sucked compared to Chapter 2 Season 4 at least, and Chapter 6, oh my god. Chapter 1 Season 6. I really, really, really did not like this season. The Venom and Carnage mythics were cool. The first thing I think about when I think of this season, the Cube Queen. Just the music pack that she had. Now that you... whatever the hell she said. Oh, I'm gonna take another bite. God damn, Wingstop is good. But, yeah. I really didn't like this season. I have no reason to want to go back to this season, and I didn't want to play when it was out. So I'm going to put this in D tier. I really, really, really didn't like Chapter 2 Season 8. Another thing I think about when I think of this season, the constantly moving cubes, that was sick, but it got old quick. But yeah, I didn't like Chapter 2 Season 8. I'm going to put it in D tier. Alright. Chapter 3 Season 1. This is by far the season that my opinion has changed on the most. This used to be my favorite season of all time, Chapter 3 Season 1. The Spider-Man season. That's what everyone thinks of when they think of this season. Spider-Man, gloves. Pew, pew, pew. I still love this season, but it has severely fallen off to me. And that's because this season is what set the precedent for scoped guns being way more powerful than non-scoped guns. And it was one of the most busted scoped guns we've ever had, the MK7. Extremely fun to use, but not fun to fight against. And I think the Ranger AR sucked compared to that. And I think when you have a loot pool where one gun is significantly better than its counterpart, like let's say randomly, like one day, like let's say the Striker Pump, right? Let's say randomly just started doing 30 damage. Like that was its base thing. The auto shotgun, what if it did like 100 damage a shot? that would be way better than the Striker Pump. That's not good. That's how I felt about the MK7 and the Ranger. And, of course, you had the Stinger SMG, which was just busted. I busted. But, yeah, I just think this is a huge spray meta. And I don't look back as fondly as I used to on this season. But it's still a really good season of Fortnite, in my opinion. I'm going to put it A tier. But I would not play this anymore over Season 6. The map was great. Right? I still think Chapter 3's map is the best we've ever gotten. Chapter 7's growing on me, though, I will say that. But, I don't know. It's by far the one that I've changed my opinion on the most. But I think I just didn't love the loot pool because of how spray heavy it was. Also, the shotgun sucked in the beginning. Like, they were hitting, like, Nerf bullets. Alright. Resistance. I don't know. I liked Resistance. But not for the reason you'd think. The first thing I think of when I think of the season is the Collider. The build-up that it had on the map was insane. I think the map was much better than the Season 1 map during the season. Because it was constantly changing. The war between the IO and the 7. That was sick. But again, just a very spray-heavy, scoped ARE season. But I actually think it was handled a little bit better. Because there were a bit more options. Like, you had the MK7 and the Striker Burst in there, so there were kind of options. But I don't know. I still think this is a good season, but I wouldn't want to go back and play it. So I'll put Resistance. You know what? I'm gonna put it in C tier. Actually, I am gonna put Chapter 3 Season 2. I'm gonna put in C tier. I think it is definitely a heavy dip in quality compared to Season 1 of Chapter 3, and you no longer have that wow new map. Wow. I'm sorry. Wow, the new loot pool. It's so different. Like, you don't have that same charm anymore. It's like, oh, Season 2 of Chapter 3. I wonder what COD is doing. You know, like, that's... I don't know. I wouldn't want to go back to the season. I did like the Mythics, though. This Mythic Stinger SMG was really good, even though it was in Season 1, too. The Sloan Striker Burst Rifle, one of the most fun guns to use, but once again, not fun to fight against. And then Huntmaster Saber's Thermal Rifle I actually really liked. I know a lot of people don't like it. I personally love it. So yeah, I think C tier is fine. But definitely top of C tier. Like, I'd rather play this than Season 7 and Chapter 2. Alright. Vibin. This is such a strange season. I'll put my perspective. I usually play solo. This season sucked for me as a solo. But when you're playing this season with friends, I don't know how to explain it. It was so fun. For me, in my opinion, it was so damn fun to play with friends. It was just laughing, having a good time. And I mainly played with friends during this season. So, I know we're not ranking these off of vibes, obviously. But if we were, this would actually go into S tier this season. I like Vibin a lot. It's kind of just a better Chapter 3 Season 1, in my opinion. You had no scoped guns. The Hammer AR was awesome, but not meta-breaking, in my opinion. So I actually think I'm going to put Vibin above Chapter 3 Season 1. Maybe above... Yeah, I'll put it above Season 6. I think the Prime Shotgun was weird but fun to use. The two-shot shotgun I actually did like. And the Charge SMG... The Charge SMG can go eat shit. But... I don't know, I just think this was just a fun time to play Fortnite. And then, Jesus Christ, Chapter 4 Season 4 came along. Oh my god, this season sucked. And it's not one of those seasons, again, we're not ranking these seasons off of live events. But it's not one of those seasons where like the live event can save it. Fracture is the worst event ever. And we'll get to the season, in my opinion, that made Fortnite stop feeling like Fortnite and just UEFN. But this was not that season, obviously. But it's what that fracture for me is like what kind of made me realize, oh, maybe they really don't care about Battle Royale that much. They're kind of pushing UEFN more. So this is actually going to be our first F tier. I didn't like this season. This is the all-time season for me where it's like I was only playing because I felt like, oh, I gotta get my rewards. I gotta get Gwen Stacy. I gotta get the bonus rewards. Oh my god, the Herald skin. And not to mention the Fortnite Mirrors event sucked. The Howler Claws, that's cool. Oh, they're gone. Rick and Morty skins, ew, why do they look so goddamn ugly? I just really don't like Chapter 4, Season 4. Chapter 3, Season 4, my bad. Oh my god, it's Chapter 3, Season 4, right. I've been saying Chapter 4, Season 4, I think, this entire time. Oops. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, really, though. I hate this season. I'm gonna be honest. This is my least favorite. I think this is my least favorite season of Fortnite. But then it got much better. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. I'm thinking about it next year. God damn, that's good. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mmm. Alrighty. But yeah, Chapter 3, Season 4 is, there's not, in my opinion, there's truthfully no real bad Fortnite season. Except for this one. I hated Paradise. I just didn't like it. Alright. And then we have, in my opinion, one of the most... Okay. I can't talk about any of these seasons of Chapter 4 without talking about Chapter 4 in general. I took a huge break around Chapter 4. It's one of those chapters where I would come every now and then to come in and play it. But holy shit, whenever I played Chapter 4, I had the time of my life playing Chapter 4. And I wish I could go back to Chapter 4, like the Chapter 4 era of Fortnite, and just constantly play it. Because anytime I did, I had so much fun. So, with that said, Chapter 4 Season 1, again, any of these seasons, it'd be like I'd play like once a week. You might think that's not that bad. But now I play Fortnite like almost every single day. Like since Chapter 5, I've been playing Fortnite almost every single day. It's grabbed my attention, Fortnite. So in Chapter 4, I really wish I went back and played more. But Chapter 4 Season 1 for me, by the way, this is with having probably less than 5 hours on this season. This is S tier. I'll put it over Season 9, actually. You know, no. I will put it over the original Marvel season. I think Chapter 4 Season 1 is better than the original Marvel season. First thing I think about, the Shockwave Hammer. One of the most fun rotation items we've ever had, but it's also pretty damn balanced, in my opinion. The guns this season were amazing. The Thunder Shotgun is one of the most interesting shotguns we've ever had. The Twin Mag SMG is a really good SMG. The Red IAR doesn't feel like it just trumps the entire loot pool. The Chapter 4 AR, yeah, that sucks. The Scar, I'll admit that kind of sucked, but it was pretty fun to use still. I just wish I could go back to this season. It's one of those seasons. Also, the game just looked beautiful back then, so. And then we have another great season, Chapter 4 Season 2. Before we talk about the season, let me talk about this real quick. Chapter 4 Season 2 and beyond, this is when I feel like they started pushing UEFN more than their own game. Because this is when UEFN actually came out, and it was like a switch. I was playing Chapter 4 Season 2, I was having fun, UEFN releases, bang. The culture around Fortnite just instantly felt like different. And not really in a good way, but also not really in a bad way either. With that said, this is one of the best Fortnite seasons of all time, in my opinion. And I almost want to put it in S tier, but I think we have too many S tiers. So I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do? You know what? No, screw it. I'm putting Chapter 4 Season 2 right next to Chapter 4 Season 1. I would rather play Chapter 4 Season 2 than Season 1. I think both Chapter 4 Season 1 and 2 are peak Fortnite and like just some of the best times to ever play the game. Genuinely. Wilds, Chapter 4 of Season 3. What people's least favorite Fortnite season for a lot of people. One of the most forgettable seasons for me. It was alright. I thought it was fine. It felt like a better Primal, in all honesty. It felt like a better Primal. So let me think. Wilds is okay. I didn't hate it. I liked the loot pool a lot. I was one of the few people that actually liked the jungle biome. I think making Optimus Prime a Battle Pass exclusive was really stupid. But I'm not going to rate the Battle Passes. The seasons doesn't matter, right? Obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm definitely gonna put it above Primal. But would I put it above Chapter 2 Season 1? That I don't know. It's definitely a B tier. I don't think it's a C or D tier season, as many people say. It's definitely B tier. Like, I think you could still go into the season and have a lot of fun. But would I rather play it over Primal or Chapter 2 Season 1? Yeah, I would. I'd rather play it over Chapter 2 Season 1 and Primal. I think I'd rather play it over it because I think the map was much more diverse back then, and I think the loot pool was goofy but fun. So yeah, I would. And I'm also one of the few people that actually liked the cloak gauntlets. I thought those were really fun. All right, and then Last Resort. I fucking loved this season. This is one of the best Fortnite seasons of all time. Hands down. One of the best Fortnite seasons of all time. I think this is a hugely slept on season of Fortnite. And it's only because, in my opinion, it's overshadowed by OG. And people will remember OG way more than this. For me, Last Resort is just a better Chapter 2 Season 2. Handled perfectly, in my opinion, too. And also, holy shit, the Fortnite Mares event wasn't dog shit. That's insane. And, I don't know, it was just fun to play. I remember playing Horde Rush a lot as well during this. I don't know, anytime I just played this season, I had a blast. So I'm gonna put it... I'm gonna put it A tier. I would definitely play it over Chapter 3 Season 1. And yeah, I'd probably play it over Chapter 6. I'd rather play it over Season 6. But would I rather play it over Vibin? Nah, because I think it's like one of those things where if you wanted like your friends to get on or something, you wouldn't have as much fun playing it as Vibin, in my opinion. Still really good though. I love Chapter 4 Season 4. You know what? I'm gonna say it right now. Chapter 4, not a single bad season. I think Chapter 4 didn't have a single bad season. I genuinely think that. I think every season built on top of each other and was great. And this is coming from someone who barely played Chapter 4 at the time. Anytime I played Chapter 4, loved it. No complaints. And then we got Season OG. Alright, I need to explain this one. First 2 weeks of OG is the most fun I have ever had playing Fortnite ever. But the last 2 weeks kind of felt like a drag. And I kind of wish it was a little bit shorter. And when I look at this season, I don't look at it as fondly as I used to. Just because at the end of the day, it really was just a lot of reused content, kinda. Everything was just reused. And I know that's the point, but when I look at the other mini-seasons, yeah, they reused content, but they put their own spin on it. OG, it was just base Chapter 1, basically. Well, we had the grapple glove, who cares about that? I did, but still. But if we were just coming off of OG, if we were just coming off of OG, this would be S tier. But when I look back on it, I don't know. It's weirdly one of those things where I don't want to go back to it. This is kind of crazy. I know people are going to be like, what? You don't like OG? That's crazy. I like OG. I just don't really want to go back to it. I'm going to put it... Yeah, it's kind of just B tier for me. Okay, obviously, excluding vibes, player count, this is Fortnite's peak. For me, yeah, it brought me back to the game, absolutely. But looking back on it, it was kind of cheap on their part. Like, I think if OG didn't come back, Chapter 5, I think we would be seeing the player count we're seeing now for Chapter 7 on Chapter 5. And the player count isn't even that bad. It's just compared to Chapter 5's launch day. Oh my god. Taking another bite of my chicken. But yeah. OG. I look back on it fondly. But I wouldn't want to play it again. I'm happy with this one staying in memory. Alrighty. Chapter 5. Season 1. This is kind of like Chapter 3 Season 1 for me. Where it was one of my favorite seasons. But looking back, I kind of look at Chapter 5 very differently compared to how I used to. Because when I think of Chapter 5 now, I don't think of, oh, Thunderburst AR. Oh, Lightning Bolt of Zeus. Oh, God Car. I think of Bullet Drop and how much I didn't like it. Kind of, in all honesty. And it barely changes anything, but it just makes guns feel horrible. And I think this wasn't the best season to have right after coming off of OG. Like, I think Chapter 6 would have been a better season to come off of after OG. It's almost kind of sad because I loved this season. It absolutely brought me back. It's one of those, it felt like OG Fortnite again. Where I was queuing into random squads, talking to random people, and just meeting people. And then we die or win, right back into another squads game. That's what I did back in Chapter 1. But, I don't know. Thunderburst SMG was better than any AR, in my opinion. Bullet Drop sucked. The Hammer Pump was horrible compared to the Frenzy Auto. I mean, it was fine. TMNT update absolutely was good. Solid Snake update, I know no one talks about it. I liked it a lot. But I think I'm only going to put this season in B tier. You know what? No. I actually think this is the worst Chapter 5 season. Compared to everything else. So I'm actually going to put it in C tier. And I'm going to put it bottom of C tier. Personally. That's definitely like a hot take. But I just don't really want to go back to it. Kinda. And we have Chapter 5 Season 2. I wish the biggest thing that makes me upset about the season was the fact that I wish they leaned more heavily into the theme of Greek gods. We got the 3 Greek god stuff. Avatar came in later, took them all away. When the Greek god items came back, it felt like no one cared anymore, and that the season theme was just dead. And I hate that they abandoned the theme of the season halfway through. However, I'd be a lying piece of shit if I didn't say this is just a better Chapter 5 Season 1. So I'm gonna put it again. I am gonna put it C tier, but it was fine. I don't know. It used to be my least favorite season. It's kind of grown on me a little bit. It was very fun with friends again, but it wasn't like vibing where it was constant fun with friends. You got bored after a while on this season. Vibing, I feel like I could play for hours, solo or with friends. The God season, I felt like I could kind of just play for a little bit and I'd get bored, and then I'd play with friends for a little bit, maybe like an hour or two, and then get bored. But yeah. Alright, Wrecked. I really liked Wrecked. I think Wrecked is genuinely one of the most interesting and unique seasons this game has ever had. And I know people despise this season, and I agree. This is a horribly balanced season. But Jesus Christ, I loved the constant chaotic feeling that this season had. The first 2 weeks of Wrecked were genuinely the most fun I have ever had on Fortnite. There's a reason why me checking out Wrecked for the first time, that stream is 3 hours long. It felt like Fortnite reinvented itself in a way we've never seen. And then, rightfully so, But then, nerfs came and crap like that, and things didn't feel as fun as they used to be. But it was needed. Absolutely. But I just wish they would have split the damn loot pools. Like, make ranked just gunplay. And I also think it's horrible that... I know people are upset, right? And I agree, kind of, that the AR loot pool was horrible at the beginning of the season, and I think it was purposefully done like that, so that you'd use the cars. But when I look back on it, yeah, that's kind of the point. You're supposed to use the cars, not guns this season. And it was fun as hell. This was fun to play solo for me. And this was so much fun with friends. Like right now, if I had the choice to go back to Wrecked, in an instant. I'm gonna eat my chicken sandwich again. Hold on. But yeah, I'm gonna put Wrecked into S tier. Looking back on it, hold on. Need a little sip of water right there. Looking back on it, not as amazing as I used to think it was, but I would rather play this over like the original Marvel season. So yeah, Wrecked is going into S tier, and I know that's a hot take, but I just don't care. I think Wrecked was really fun. I enjoyed Wrecked a lot, genuinely. Alrighty, so Chapter 5, Season 4, Absolute Doom, second Marvel season, nowhere near as good as the first. Still kind of fun, but not... Like, I think the bullet drop was horrible, and it felt like just a sad Marvel season. Like, it felt like a sad excuse for a season. Like, they didn't know how they wanted Chapter 5 to end. So they're like, oh, well, we just acquired $1 billion from Disney. Let's just make a Marvel season. Oh. The Captain America shield came back. Wasn't as good as it was in the Endgame LTM. The Shuri Black Panther claws, either they sucked or they were amazing. And, of course, you had the War Machine Hover Jets, which just created a horrible, horrible meta for the season where it was someone's flying on a jetpack, using the Captain America shield, blocking, attacking, and my dumbass who's over here actually using a gun, like in the game I grew up with, wanting to play an actual battle royale with guns, I was at a disadvantage. Especially since I believe hit scan still wasn't a thing, right? No, this is still Chapter 5. Especially with the fact that just there was no hit scan still, so your bullets traveled. So imagine just trying to shoot someone in the sky. It's like shooting a fly. It's like trying to kill a fly. You couldn't, because it's too fast. So I'm gonna put... Let me think here. I really didn't... You know what? I'm gonna be completely honest when I say this. Or when I put this where I put this. It's gonna go D tier. I would rather play it over Chapter 2, Season 8. I'd play it 100 times over Chapter 3, Season 4. But my God, I just didn't... This is definitely one of those seasons where I just wasn't enjoying Fortnite. And I was just playing it because I felt like I had to. Alright, and then... I lied. This is my favorite season of Fortnite. Not Chapter 2, Season 3. Remix. We're not 1v1ing, bro. My bad. I'm still ranking. Maybe in a little bit, but gotcha. Remix made me kind of had hope for Fortnite again, because after Chapter 5, Season 4, I really didn't like it. The Fortnite Mares event was really fun. I'll admit, I liked the Fortnite Mares event a lot. But, I don't know. Remix just felt like classic Fortnite again for me. Now, I will say, Zero Build this season was horrible. You could not play Zero Build for the life of you in this season. But, I don't know. From a build's perspective, Remix was awesome. I think, right now, if I could choose to, I would go back to the season absolutely. So, I'm going to put it in S tier. But I don't know if I like... I don't know if it's my favorite season. Let me think. Would I rather play Remix over Chapter 1, Season 8? Yeah, I would. And I also just think it's a better Chapter 2 Season 2 because they did what I was talking about earlier, where they introduced the bosses. Oh my god. They introduced the bosses slowly as the season progressed. And it gave time to breathe. I know it was for the rappers and stuff, so each rapper needed their own week, but still. And they also combined something beautifully that Chapter 2 did back in the day. Collabs. A lot of collabs in Chapter 2. But oh my god, they were perfect during the season. Ice Spice, that was insane. Eminem being back and having an actual mythic gun, that was sick compared to OG, what he had, like 2 minutes of a song where his lip syncing looked horrible. God damn, the sugar sandwich. Oh my god. Sorry, I need my chicken sandwich. But yeah. Remix. I miss it. I miss Remix a lot. And it's funny because I was looking at the wiki for it the other day because I was curious what the loophole was. It was kind of bloated, which is weird because it didn't feel bloated back when like the season actually came out. So it was kind of like weird to look at like the actual like gun list that it had, like a weapon list, and see how bloated the loophole really was because it didn't feel like that. You had all the mythics, which felt great. Prime drum gun back. And oh my god, I loved the fact that when you picked up the guns, music played. That was just such a cool detail. And they haven't done it since. So yeah, Remix goes into S tier. I would absolutely go back to it right now if I could. And I also didn't even bring it up. The car glitch. That was so damn fun. And I was so sad when they removed it. Obviously, it was going to get removed eventually, but I made a whole video on that, actually, going back to Spawn Island. I miss Remix. I wish I made more videos on Remix, in all honesty. Chapter 6, Season 1. Played it, liked it, and then took a huge break on Fortnite. And then I came back for the Godzilla collab, played it, liked it, and then didn't. So I don't really remember much about Chapter 6, Season 1, in all honesty. And I liked the season, but I just really don't remember what happened that much. I think it's better than Chapter 6, Season 1. The first thing I think about when I think about this season, though, is the Typhoon Blade and how annoying it was to fight against that. But it was still good, in my opinion, this season. I would play it over Season 6. I wouldn't play it over Chapter 4, Season 4, though. Personally. Lawless. Lawless is a better Chapter 2, Season 2. And I hate to say it, it is a better Chapter 4, Season 4. Lawless is by far the best heist-themed season we have had in this damn game's history. It's one of those seasons, again, I didn't love it at the beginning, but the exotics just made it so much better. The first thing I think about when I think of this season, Lawless Trinity Assault Rifle. Such a unique gun that you can use as your AR, and honestly, as your shotgun too if you wanted to. I wish we would get a lawful Trinity Assault Rifle for this season, but we're not going to, obviously, but I just wish we would. Because it was such a fun season, Lawless. Again, it's one of those seasons that I barely played, but what I did play of it, I liked it. That's how Chapter 6 in the beginning was for me. Barely played it, but liked it. Like Chapter 4. But you'll see very soon I played it a lot. With that said, I only think it's marginally better than Season 1. But it's definitely better than Last Resort. So I'll put it above Last Resort. I don't think it's better than Vibin, though. No, I think it is actually better than Vibin. I think it's better than Vibin. Lawless is an A-tier season. I think Lawless is one of those seasons I wish I played more of, definitely. Galactic Battle, Star Wars season. It's weird. I used to really hate the season, Galactic Battle. But it's one of those seasons where my favorite is Chapter 5, Season 1. I can see that. My favorite Chapter 5, Season 1 used to be in my S tier, personally. But I don't know. I just don't look back on it as fondly as I used to. But, anyways, back to Galactic Battle. I don't know. It's one of those seasons where I didn't like it when it came out, but I kind of wish I could go back to it because it was so different. But it's still not a good season in my opinion. I don't know. Galactic Battle's like kind of just the most mid Fortnite season of all time in my opinion. So I think I'm gonna put it in D tier actually, but like top of D tier. I also don't love collab seasons. I like when Fortnite's like their own thing, in my opinion, honestly. But I'm saying I don't like collab seasons, and we'll get to a collab season in a minute though that I really did like. Super duper. Chapter 6 season 3. This is a top 3 Fortnite season for me. And it ain't number 3. It's number 2, baby. Super made me fall in love with the game again. I kind of was falling off a little bit on Chapter 5. I was still playing it, enjoying it, but I didn't feel like it was the game I used to like. Remix made me realize Fortnite still got it. But then Season 1 of Chapter 6 kind of was Chapter 6 of Season 2 I didn't play a lot. Galactic Battle I really didn't like. And then Super showed me, Fortnite still got it. They can still make really good quality seasons. Super, first thing I think about when I think of this season, Superman. Superman Call was really fun. I think that was great. And it's one of those seasons where it shouldn't have worked because just the amount of bullshit items that were in the season. You had the Surf Cube, you had the Mist Form, you had the Pom Pom Beasts, you had the Base Boost. So many items in this season. It shouldn't have worked. But I think it was a very different, good kind of chaotic season. Where it just felt fun to play. And honestly just worked. So I heavily miss Super. I like how there weren't a lot of bosses, but the mythics were pretty damn good. And yeah, I just really liked Super, personally. Alright, and then we got Shock and Awesome. This season could not choose an identity. The first 2 weeks of Shock and Awesome... Okay, let's put it this way. If Shock and Awesome for me personally stayed the same way it did for the first 2 weeks it was, the constant chaotic feeling like, it felt very level based in a way. You go, fight a boss, get the vault, win. Or try at least. That was fun. I think the medallions were really fun too. But yeah, balancing the department wasn't great. But the thing is, I'm gonna say the first 2 weeks of the season, right? If the season stayed the same for the first 2 weeks, this would genuinely be better than Wrecked in my opinion. An S tier season. But then they removed the medallions. It wasn't as fun as it was without the medallions because that felt really fun. But I was like, okay, it's still a good season. I'll put it in A tier though. And then they just straight up remove the bugs. And it's like, what are we doing? You showed me a really cool bug invasion season where we're just going to be killing bugs the entire time. What are we doing? And then the season kind of was still A tier for me. But the thing with Shock and Awesome is it could have been 2 different seasons. You could have had the bug season. Obviously, you could have had the Simpsons season. And then we could have had Chapter 6 Season 5 instead, where there's no bugs on the map, and that was the map. The Four Nightmares event, though, is by far the best Four Nightmares event we've ever had. No question. But I just think when I look at the season, it's it didn't know what Epic Games didn't know what they wanted the season to be. So, and also just had the most random unvaults of all time. Stinger SMG was really fun, but then they started unvaulting crap like the Frenzy Auto. I think the MK came back at one point. The Hollow Twister came back at one point, and I was like, okay, there goes that perfect AR loop pool that the beginning of the season had. The OXR rifle, the Fury, and I think the Hammer AR was in there for a bit. So, with that said, I am going to put Shock and Awesome. I'll say this right now. Shock and Awesome is going to go in C tier. But I think it definitely deserves the top of C tier just because of how different this season was. But I'm looking at every other season here. And it's they felt pretty much the same throughout the entire season, which is good. You look at the key art for this season, it wasn't like this halfway through the season. That's not what it was. It was 3 different seasons in one. You had Chapter 6 Season 4, which is a bug invasion season. You had what could have been Chapter 6 Season 5, which was when the bugs were gone. And you had what it could have been Chapter 6 Season 6, which could have been a Halloween-themed thing. So yeah, I think they just fit 3 seasons, maybe 2, into 1. And it was just a lot of bullcrap. It was really fun the first 2 weeks. But it just got in my opinion. It's like if, for me, again, a lot of people don't like Wrecked. Absolutely, I understand that. Personally, I fucking loved Wrecked. I loved it. It's like if Wrecked dropped like the Wastelander theme halfway through, and like a month into the season, bang, all the sand was gone. The cars were gone. It was just gunplay. And then boom, we randomly have like I don't know, what was Wrecked? It was summer, right? Then we randomly had a summer event that was awesome. But it's like, I'm looking at the key art. This has nothing to do with what you were selling me. That's how I feel about Shock and Awesome. If it was a bad Wrecked, even though Wrecked is already a bad season, objectively. All right. Simpsons. I want to have a talk. If there's anyone in the chat, what do you think of the Simpsons season? What are your thoughts on the Simpsons season? For me, I'm going to say this right now too, because I know the stream has a little bit of lag. So I know what I'm saying right now won't come in until 15 seconds later. But I want to know, what are your thoughts on the Simpsons season? I'll get mine out right now. I liked it. I think the gunplay was really fun. Ranked was awesome this season. I think Ranked was the best it's been ever, in my opinion, just genuinely ever. Simpsons season was really fun. Delulu was fun. Yeah, you guys like it? Gotcha. Okay. That's what I was expecting. Yeah, I hear you. Gotcha. I like the Simpsons season a lot, but it's one of those things where I kind of want to stay a memory. And I don't really have I don't have the urge to go back to the season. And again, it's a more recent season, but it's not one of those seasons where I'd want to go back to it. It's more like I'd want it to stay a memory. This was very fun. In solos, with friends, in zero build, in build, I think... Yeah, I miss Delulu so much. Delulu was goated, genuinely. But I don't know how to explain it. I think Simpsons was goated. I don't know if I'd put it in S tier, just because I took a bit of a break midway through the season. But okay, for me, Simpsons was I played the first week, loved it, took a big break during week 2, didn't play it at all, then played it week 3 and 4, and liked it again. And I also think the storyline was awesome. I think the events were... Obviously, we're not ranking these off of the events, but the event was obviously goated. So I'm actually going to put Simpsons... You know what? No, screw it. Screw it. Yeah. Simpsons is a top 5 season for me. I really like Simpsons. I think Fortnite's kind of cooked with every November season they've had so far. Fortnite's cooked. Every November mini season. I maybe top 5 is a little too high, but I don't know. I would rather go back to Simpsons than all of Chapter 4 if that sounds bad, but that's just how I feel. All right. And then we have Chapter 7. I'm going to say this right now. I don't think Chapter 7 has had a bad season so far. There's been times where I've taken a big break in Chapter 7. I barely played January of Chapter 7 Season 1. And I didn't play a lot of Act 2 in Showdown, Chapter 7 Season 2. Well, let's start with Chapter 7 Season 1. This was a lot like Remix for me. Where, oh yeah, Fortnite still knows what they're doing. They still got it. And they can still reinvent the game in very fun ways. But, I know a lot of people didn't like it. And I understand why people didn't like Chapter 7 Season 1. But, when I think of the season... Okay. The first thing I think about when I think of the season, Enforcer AR. Enforcer AR, one of my favorite guns of all time. Genuinely. My dog's been barking up a storm this entire time. But, Chapter 7 Season 1... I would put it above the Simpsons season. I should say this. I think Chapter 7 Season 1, first of all, is an S tier season. I think I played over season 8. I really like Chapter 7 Season 1. I wish I... You know, it's funny. I kind of want to go back to Chapter 7 Season 1 already. I know it's kind of glazing, but I would. And then Chapter 7 Season 2. So far, Act 1 was really good. Then they laid out the employees, and it made me not want to play as much. Act 2 was kind of but it added the hammer revolver, which is one of my new favorite guns of all time, too. And then, Act 3 is amazing. So, this season for me right now, it's good. It's a good season of Fortnite. I really like Chapter 7 Season 2. And I'm going to say this right now, it's S tier. Chapter 7 Season 2 is definitely S tier. But it's not where you might think it's going to go. I'm going to put it bottom of S tier. Okay, there's too many S tiers, I'm going to be honest with you guys, but this is just how I feel. So let's get my top 3 seasons out of the way. My top 3 seasons are Chapter 2 Season 3, Super, and then Remix. And that's it, guys. That is my Fortnite season tier list. I still feel very much like... I think this is a great list, in my opinion. This is just my opinion, again. I hope you guys agree with it. If you don't, I completely understand. Please just feel free to disagree with me. I completely understand. For me, someone who's been playing since Chapter 1 Season 5, yeah, no, this is how I feel. I think this is a great list for me personally. This is how I feel about Fortnite right now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the stream. I will see you guys next time. Peace.